Hi, I'm Casey. I'm a birth and postpartum doula, and this is Jack, and we are going to be talking to you today about infant massage. The very first step with infant massage is setting up your stage. So to do that, you have a blanket down, something soft and comfortable for the baby. Usually get the baby down to their diaper. You can do it without the diaper, but then you run the risk of needing to stop and clean up mid-massage. So usually leave the diaper on. And then just have an extra blanket so that the baby can stay warm and comfortable. And you're going to have some sort of oil or lotion. It doesn't really matter what type. Usually if you're using an oil, use an edible food oil. This lotion here is just the Honest Company face and body lotion that we'll be using today. So you might be wondering, why do you do massage? Why would you massage a baby, especially one that can't tell you if they like it or not? And one of the big reasons to do it is it's a great way to bond. If you're having your newborn baby, you get to explore their little bodies and all their feet and hands and toes and all of that. And also it can be a really great way to relax the baby and get them ready for bed, create part of the bedtime routine using massage. But it also has benefits for the immune system, for circulation, relieving gas pain, constipation, all of those things. So there's really tons of benefits that can be had from giving your baby a massage. And it can be done by anybody. It doesn't have to be anybody with lots of training. It's just somebody who's going to think that this is a good idea and work with the baby in this way. So to get started, usually what we do is, as if you were massaging an adult, you ask the baby if they're ready for a massage. Of course, they're not going to give you their answer, but it's just asking them for their permission first. So what we do is we ask, hey Jack, are you ready? You want to get your massage? And then we get started. Especially for the first couple of times that you're massaging, you want to start down at the feet. You want to start away from the baby's head as much as possible, just because it's less obtrusive for them. And as you can see, we're keeping Jack covered up so that he doesn't get too cold, even though he is laying there without anything except his diaper on. So I put a little bit of lotion on both hands and rub it in together. And then I get started with his feet. And I hold one of his feet in my hand and do circular motions from the heel up to the toes. And then once I get up to the toes, I just run back down to the heel, really get that blood flowing. And we do the same thing with the other foot. Good. And the whole time that you're massaging, you're talking to the baby, you're making eye contact with them. And then if they're getting really sleepy, if you're using a pacifier, you can put that in their mouth there. And after we're done with the feet, we just keep working up to the outsides of the legs. And then we get up to the knees and just kind of move in circular motions. And so as you're moving, you want to make sure that you are keeping the friction low, so just continue to put on lotion. You don't want to have them completely slippery and all over the place, but you want to have your hands able to move freely over their bodies. So we've done the legs and we get up to the knees and then the thighs, and just continue to move in circular motions. And just kind of noticing how the baby is reacting as well. You can see that if there's something that they really like or they really don't like, or if they're extra ticklish, you'll be able, after you do a massage a couple times, you'll be able to notice some of those things. And so I'm just moving the blood around in his legs. I'm massaging all parts of his legs using my thumbs. So we've done the bottoms of the legs, the knees, up to the thighs here. And we're just kind of continuing to use circular motions, have your hands in a C moving down. And the amount of pressure that you're using is more than you might think. You want to have pretty firm pressure. I think about it as the amount of pressure that it would take to pop a bubble in bubble wrap. Just because if you're using light touch for too much, then it could be very ticklish for the baby. And you don't want to do that, because you want to make this as enjoyable of an experience as you can. So then from here we will cover up his feet and uncover his belly, because that's the next part that we're working on here. Alright, so usually the first one that I start out with is starting right here, kind of below the baby's nipples, and you just gently, you start in the middle and move your thumbs to the outside, and then you move down one step, almost overlapping where you've last done, and just go all the way down until you get to the baby's diaper. And you can do this 1 or 2, 3 times, just to kind of get things moving. And then from there, we throw in some bicycle legs. So what people mean when they say bicycle legs is you're just really moving the baby's legs as if they were riding a bicycle. And you're moving them back and forth, and then what the next step can be is you have both knees into the chest and just rock just a little bit. And it's not a lot of pressure, but it's just enough to kind of get things moving in their little bellies. And then stretch them out and go back and do it again and just rock a few times. Alright, so the next one that we're going to be doing is the I love you massage. So you're going to be following the path of the ascending, transcending, and descending colon. So you're starting on the baby's left side, and you're following up, you're making an I on the baby's abdomen, and you're going from basically hip bone to the bottom of the rib cage. And then you're going across under the rib cage, just 2 fingers applying pressure here, so you're doing the one side of the L, and then down to the other hip bone, down to the other hip bone, and then the U, you're just going to follow the whole path that you've made. So you're starting from one hip bone, going up to rib cage, across, and down to the other hip bone. You can do this a couple times, and it is okay and expected if you hear things moving in there, because you're really helping get their little systems going. And then, so we're up at the face. You're going to hold the baby's head in your hands. If you have a smaller baby, your hands will probably fit all the way around their head like this. Just starting with the eyebrows, going from the middle of the face down to the ears. I usually do this in 3s, but it doesn't have to be in that way. This massage is a really good one to, one, get them ready for sleep, and also to break up any of the mucus that can be in there if they're working on a cold like this little guy is, or also it can help with some teething pain as well. So we do the eyebrows, and then we do under the eyes, working on these sinus cavities here. Again, I do it in 3s just because that's how I do it. And then, so we go down from the ears to the shoulders, making sure your fingers are moving enough with a little, not too much friction. So if you need to reapply some lotion, you don't want to put a ton on the baby's face, but just to keep the friction down. And so then we're here at the shoulders. We start working, he's a little bit ticklish up here, but we start working behind the shoulders with your fingers, and then in front of the shoulders with your thumbs, and kind of the same motion that you were doing on the baby's belly earlier, you just do that on the front as well. And then we come back up to the face and make a heart, ending up at the chin, ending up, and you can keep talking to your baby and making eye contact with them. And this is a really good time that you can bond. And if you feel like they need a little break, then just move to something else. Move to their hands, and you can just keep the touch moving, and then go back. Especially if you're doing something working on the cold, you want to keep doing this. Another set of 3s. Are you getting sleepy? Alright, and so then once we finish with the face, we can move to the back. And it doesn't matter. You can do this with the baby laying on your legs or across your knee. Or since he's a little bit bigger, he's pretty good with tummy time. Alright, and so this massage looks a little bit different because he's bigger and he's trying to roll back over and get away from me. And even moving up to babies that are a year, 2 years old, your massage process can look a little bit different because they're moving all around. But here, as he's laying on his belly here, we're going to do the same thing that we did on his stomach, and just have the hands going one over each other, rubbing on his back here. And then you can see the 2 little dimples up at the top of the bottom of his back and the top of his little butt here. Just put your thumbs in there and do a little massage here. Just maybe 10-15 seconds in this here, and then go back to rubbing the back. And you can go all the way down. And so to wrap up the baby's massage, whether they're wrapping up on their stomach or on their back, can be a good way to just go from shoulders down to feet. And do that a couple times. And this can be a little bit lighter touch, but still putting some pressure on there. Thanks for listening. This video was made in collaboration with Duals of Capitol Hill and Nested Childbirth Education with a Purpose.